Hey, Ryan. I'm just wondering if you could describe to us what the team mood was the other night when you guys, from what Phil has said, you guys were so ready, so hungry, everybody's healthy and all this stuff, and then the disappointment of sitting around for 8 hours and having to fly back without a game. And how does that affect the team mood going into this game? Can you recapture that energy 3 days later, or, is that hard to do having not played in so long?
No, that's our job. You've got to prepare for every game. Obviously, it's frustrating. Probably us more than anyone know how lightning works and how often we have delays in training in games. So we understand it. It's part of the job. We were well prepared going to the game, and we felt like we were in a good moment to hopefully go out and win. But these things happen. It's football. It's a challenge, so we've overcome it, and we've had a good few days training, and we're ready for the next game.
Thank you. We'll go to Franco.
Hey, Ryan. On paper, you look at the standings, and New England's in first, and you guys are at the bottom. MLS, we see surprises all the time. But for tomorrow, for that to happen, what does Inter Miami need to do well tomorrow against this very informed New England Revolution team?
Look after the things that we can control the controllables, effort, application, listen to the coaches, what they want, sticking to the game plan, executing what the manager wants us to do, and then first of all, fight on the pitch and win the battle. If you win the battle, you've got half a chance. So if we can do all them, and with the fans on our side, it's a home game, we've not won at home yet, so there's a lot of things we want to change. So tomorrow is the day we hope it happens.
We'll go back to Michelle.
Back to New England, from what you've seen about them, what particular challenges do you see from them that make them one of the top teams the top team in the league right now? What do you see from them that is the toughest challenges facing them?
They're obviously in a good moment, and we've done our research, we've watched the videos, so we see what good players they have, and they have a number of attacking players that are going to cause us threats. But sometimes you can get too overawed by looking at the opposition. It's up to us to focus on what we can control. It's a home game for us, and we're desperate to win. We've not won here yet, so it's something that we are hoping can happen tomorrow. And as I mentioned before, the things that we control, if we do them, we've got more chance than not. So it's going to be difficult. They're obviously a very good moment, but hopefully we can win.
We're going to go Mike Pasquale.
Hey, Ryan. Thank you, Rafa. I asked Phil if he had heart-to-heart talks with some of the key players, his important role players. He said yes. Do you guys talk amongst each other right now, knowing the situation that you're in, and what can be done to turn this around in the second half so you guys can make the playoffs?
Yeah, there's always conversations. We've got a good leadership group. We've got 4 captains, and there's a lot of dialogue between the players and the captains, and the players and the coach. The best way to have a successful team is to have open dialogue, and I believe we've had that over the last couple of weeks, and there's been a few home truths which are always good. Ultimately, it ends on the pitch, and once you go on the pitch, up to the players to deliver. And unfortunately, so far we haven't, but we're desperate to turn it around, and we showed early on in the season what we can do, and we were successful. So that's what we need to get back to.
If I can follow up, Ryan, you said on the pitch what happens. What would you like to see from yourself and your teammates as you guys come out of the gate now in the second half? Is it a fast start? I mean, what type of tactics do you need to use to get back into this?
Clean sheets. It's a simple way of going about it. If you give yourself clean sheets, you've got a chance to go on and win the game. We conceded too many goals. I think we kept 1 clean sheet, which is not good enough. As defenders and as a team, you have to look at that, and it's important you have a good defensive base, and at the moment we haven't, so that's something we need to change quickly. We've been working on it, but it doesn't happen overnight, but these are the real basics you need to get right for a team to be successful.
All right, thank you.
Last 2 questions, one Michelle and then Franco.
Ryan, can you talk about the 2 keepers? You have Nick in camp now, and John, who's been playing up until now. How is each one different, and just kind of describe from your vantage point, what does each one of those 2 bring?
Obviously, John's done a pretty decent job so far this season, and then we brought in Nick to add some competition. They both have different qualities. Obviously, Nick's new to the club, so he's settled in really well, and then ultimately it's up to the manager to decide which he thinks is best. But both both have good feet, both are good shot stoppers. So we've got a good pool of goalies there to pick from, and then it comes down to what the manager wants for each game. But yeah, we're quite pleased with what we got, and we've got some really top keepers there.
Franco, last question.
How much have you guys in the last couple of weeks since your last game worked on the spacing in between lines? I know you didn't start in the last game, but one of the things I saw when I rewatched the game was the spacing between the back line and the midfield wasn't that tight. There was a lot of space in the middle that helped lead to a lot of chances for Montreal. They eventually got the goal. How much has Phil tried to have you guys work on that? And you played striker in that game at the end, yeah. But how much has Phil tried to help you guys work on that over the last couple of weeks?
It's not just the last couple of weeks. It's a process which goes on from the start of the season to now. We work on it a lot, and some games it looks really well, and we look organised, and we look and the lines are the distance you want them to be, and sometimes they're not. And unfortunately, in the last game, like you said, they were a bit too open, and that causes problems. And we always set out to have a compact team. That's our mantra. That's what we want to do. And unfortunately, you're playing against teams that are trying to break that down and cause you problems. So it's not as simple as just going out and saying, "Oh, we want to be close together." The opposition are trying to get you spread out. So it's a difficult scenario. But we have worked on it, and it's important we stay compact because, like I said, clean sheets are going to be vital between now and the end of the season. And how many we get is going to justify where we are in the league. If we get the more we get, I'm pretty certain the higher in the table will be.
Thank you, Ryan.
Cheers, guys. See you later.